Good afternoon, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment to my YouTube channel, James Polk here, and I'm going to give you guys a DD deck profile. So without further ado, let's get to it. First, 3 Swirl Slime. You need it because fusion material from the hand, and by banishing slime itself, you special summon your DD monsters from the hand. 2 Necro Slime. You need them because fusion material from the graveyard as well, and anyone can play them at 1 or 3. I find 2 is a perfect number for it. Like 3 can be like sometimes cloggy, but there are lots of good uses with Necro Slime. Then 3 Savant Kepler. You need this guy because that's your search card. 3 of this dude, Leonidas. Once you take effect damage off of those dark contracts, you're more likely to summon him right this minute. And he's basically like a vanilla. And a continuous effect where I do not ever take damage is fine. Like if I were go up against Chamber or whatever like that, just drop that Leonidas, and then if they don't have no out to it, and then there you go. 3 of this dude, Ragnarok. He's at 3k butt, and his effect is that I can tribute a DD monster just to target one of my opponent's monsters, and it gets banished. And when it's summoned, you bring out a triple D monster back from the graveyard. So, pretty good use for it. Next, 2 Berfamets. Reason why I only run 2 is that I love 2xz. 2 Maxis and a Glow Bulb. The Glow Bulb is like the nuts. Like, of course, when it comes to the synchro plays, like, if you're somehow lucky enough to mill, like a Swirl Slime for free, then you're just more to go off with some extensive crazy plays. And then the spells, Barrier from a Different Dimension, 1 for 1, Raigeki, and 1 Upstart. 3 Dark Contract of Gate. You need it because that's your search card as well. Let you search for any DD monster. And I only play 1 Swamp King because like 1 is okay, and you really don't need it as much or nothing like that, but it just lets you go into this Ragnarok fusion right here. And then 3 Allure Darkness. First off, thanks to that ban list earlier, like the past few weeks where Allure Darkness now at 3, like go nuts. 2 Twin Twister. Like in my last build before I changed it to Twin Twisters, I once had MST because like a lot of people like to argue that MST isn't really a good card in this format, and that argument is the only possible back row I can hit are like Solemn Warning, Vanity's Emptiness, Solemn Strikes, or any other Floodgate traps. And the only reason why I decided to run that Twin Twisters to go with it is because of this card right here, Pendulum Storm. It just lets me kill all the scales on the field and then pop a back row. So it's good, pretty good in the Pendulum matchups. And then the 2 Mask Change Seconds, like Making Dark Law is like an unfair card against the meta decks. And then the traps, Bottomless, 2 Dark Contract of the Witch. That's the Raigeki break one. And what people don't really know about the Dark Contract of the Witch is that during my opponent's turn, all fiend type monsters I'm in control of, they gain that 1000 attack. So it's pretty good for the witches. And the fact that people never really underestimate the witches so much is because of the attack power. Like if they try to swing over like a farm girl where I take battle damage, I could just have like the fiend types gain that power boost and then just like do some destruction effects to it. Deck Devastation Virus. I did draw this card at least like once or twice. It was pretty sweet that I drawn into it, and I did once play that Deck Devi in one of my matches, like the PK Fire or like Magic Spectre matchups. And like if I can get this off early, then it's pretty sweet. And then the one Solemn Strike. And then the one Solemn Strike, like I actually did not draw this card until my feature matchup versus Cyber Angel Harris. Like your only time, proper time to use that Solemn Strike is when they have Herald on the field, and when they're about to negate something, you just flip this, and then the Herald is out of there. And then extra deck, 2 Dark Law. Like in my last prediction, I said that Match Change Checking like should have been gone to 1. I'm surprised they didn't touch Match Change Checking at all. So, Flame King Genghis or Genghis Khan. 2 DDs is what it requires, and what he does is that if another DD monster is special summoned to your field while I control this face-up card, except during the damage step, you can target 1 DD monster in your graveyard, special summon this. And if this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in my possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can target 1 Dark Contract card from your graveyard, add it back to the hand. So, in this build, with Genghis Khan on board, you're more likely to use it for like OTKs all from turn 2, turn 3. 3 Oracles, you need this guy because of its own effect, where I actually gain life points rather than losing it. So that's like a good cure off from against Chain Burn or a bad reaction to Samochi, whatever like that. One of this fusion dude, like OTKs are really hard, but because of this guy, he just lets you get over those problematic cards. Just like he gets to take any of the Cosmos ships, and they don't target. 1 single Scarlight, and that's the only synchro I play with. And then for the XZs, Wave King Caesar. I make this guy like once or twice a matchup, but Wave King Caesar is actually pretty good because like he's a soul charge, and he just lets me search for a Dark Contract spell trap, so which is pretty good as well. Marksman Kingtail. I actually made this once, and he has an interesting cowboy effect. And as a 2300 beater, is that like he's pretty okay, but like when it comes to Marksman, when he gets sent to graveyard, you get to have the option to Foolish Burial or Dark Contract. Big Eye hardly ever took anything. Flare Metal never made it. Dracosac didn't make this either. And then 2 Dual Dawn King Kali-Yugas. Like Kali-Yuga is like the nuts when he hits the field. Like he just sits there as a Dankoseka once he's summoned, and he's a heavy storm. And then during my turn, I get to reset a Dark Contract. So like, if my opponent has like a bunch of monsters or like a bunch of back row that doesn't deal with destruction or whatever, then this is your one shot of bringing out Kali-Yuga. Unless it's like Solemn Warning, then there's no point. And the second Kali-Yuga definitely comes up a lot. And then side deck, it's like pretty standard. 2 Ghost Ogres. I expected to play against Pendulums, but never happened. 2 Effect Veilers. Effect Veilers did actually come up once. And 2 System Downs. That's for like machine-based decks. Didn't see any. Eradicator, Epidemic Virus. I mean, like the Eradicator is like, it depends on my meta call. Like, if I play against Dark Magicians, you're easily going to call out spells. Or like, if I play against Cosmos, you're more easily going to call out spells though. But when I'm drawn into that Eradicator, it was pretty sweet, but I never got the chance to activate it though. 3 Dark Contract with Errors. I actually side these guys out just in case if they play some ridiculous floodgate traps like Mistake, Vanity's Emptiness, and Anti-Spell Fragrance, then this card is to help you can get the job done, because this Errors is a DD trap stud. 2 Breakthrough Skills. a single Rota, and the MVP of my targets for Rotas, 2 Vampire Hunters. What Vampire Hunter does is that at the start of the damage step, if this card battles a dark monster, destroy that monster. So I did play this against Dark Magician decks, and this card can easily get the job done. Like 1 to 2, sometimes 2 of them. Like your main issue with Vampire Hunters is like Black Wings, Dark Magicians, the Cosmo ships, which the battle part doesn't target, and for mirror matches as well. So you play this in like any of the matches versus dark decks, and if they don't have an out to it, and it's unkillable. Like Konami made a mistake about Vampire Hunter is that like first off, since Shadow Specters came out, like this card is actually a warrior type. Like I do not know why vampires are like the vampires are zombies, but if you look at the artwork, like Konami made a mistake. Like they shouldn't have done this. Like if Vampire Hunter wasn't supposed to be like this, and I would not use that as a side card like at all though. But Vampire Hunter gets the job done. And what's funny enough is that Vampire Hunter is actually a level 4, so it's easily searchable off from Rota. And without further ado, this is James Polk signing out. Be sure to like, comment, and sub to my channel. Peace out.